What's up, high ticket affiliate marketers, coaches, course creators, anyone that sells anything online, especially of a high ticket nature, or if you're looking to get into that. And more specifically, if you're finding you have a sense of overwhelm when it comes to all this stuff and you're just not sure which funnel builder to go with, and should I run ads or not, or should I go with organic, or what platform should I start with, or should I go onto this platform or that platform, and what type of content should I put out, should I build a blog, or does that even work anymore, should I go over to core and answer questions? Like, there's so much stuff. And so if that's you and you're overwhelmed as to what you need to do in order to build and scale a highly profitable, sustainable business, this is the video for you. Now, before I dive into all that stuff, welcome to my channel, by the way. My name's Jamie Gardner. I've been an affiliate marketer and coach since 2011, and this channel is really just me documenting my journey of having helped over 900 students and sold millions of dollars worth of products online, hopefully providing a bit of value to someone out there to cut through all the kind of stuff and have these raw videos like this. So anyway, with all that being said, feel free to hit the subscribe button, drop a comment if you get value from this, and let's dive into it. All right, so here's a really simple way to think of all business, okay? So there's actually only two business models you need to be mindful of. Number one is what we call a zero-sum business model. Now, there's not many of them out there, thankfully, and that would be something like gambling or trading the financial markets, where effectively one side wins, the other side loses, right? So it's a binary, it's a zero sum. One side wins, one side loses. Think about any trade you've made. If you're trading financial markets, there's one side win, one side loses. Same with gambling, one side wins, one side loses, right? Thankfully, these business models are very limited. The majority of them are what we call a positive sum business model. That means that if I give you $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, whatever, I receive something in return. There is a positive exchange of value. Usually, if you are good at what you're doing in the high ticket space, which is me, then that means that the consumer, the customer, yourself, you are receiving a disproportionately high amount of value for a small comparative sum, right? Positive sum business model. Okay, so I say that because then once you understand that, you're like, okay, cool, that makes a little bit more sense. Now I'm going to make a little bit more sense out of everything. There's actually literally only three pillars to business in general. Three pillars, real simple. And a gentle curve is exactly how you draw a pillar, apparently. No, kidding. So pillar number one is going to be what you are selling, how that thing solves problems for people, right? So this is what we call our offer, right? So it's our offer. Now think about any business out there. If you own a fish and chips store, you've got an offer which is relatively fast food and greasy and horrible, but also very, very tasty. Okay, if you're selling books, guess what? You're selling information and stationery and all that type of stuff, right? So same thing applies online. If you're selling anything, that is your offer. That's the thing that solves that problem for people. That is your offer, okay? Now that's pillar number one. Pillar number two is your audience, okay? So where are these people out there, right? Are they in existence somewhere? Are they on a particular platform? Are they out there on like offline? Maybe they're not even online, they're offline, right? There's some people out there that have that problem that your offer solves. And again, using the fish and chip shop analogy, I don't know why that has stuck in my head, but think of it this way. If you have really good positioning of your shop and you get a whole bunch of foot traffic coming past, that is clearly your audience. And some of those people are going to come in and buy some of your goods, okay? So now you've got that. Now, the third pillar, and think about like literally, and I will challenge you at this point, go think of any business model and then consider whether these things are in place. Pretty much all of them to some degree are in place. Last but not least is, how do you convert your audience into customers? Right, so you got your offer, your audience, and how do you convert them into customers? What is the method of conversion there? Okay. Now, for that one, I'm going to blow a few minds with this one. A lot of people, when they're entering the online marketing space now, and I understand there's somewhat of a paradox happening here because I've won awards for building funnels, but bear with me here. But a lot of people, they make this assumption when they jump into online marketing that they need a funnel and they need a website and they need this and they need that and they need a blah blah and a landing page and all that type of stuff. And yes, that is one way to build a business, but it's not the only way, right? In fact, I would argue that a simpler way is just to build your audience first, because the method of conversion, if you have clout and authority and you're able to help people in your audience, the conversion method is actually really, really straightforward and really, really simple by comparison. Now, what this means over here with the method of conversion is that you can close through DMs, right? I closed a 10K coaching client recently, just nothing more than a few DMs. Pretty cool, right? You can write a flexible document on a Google Doc, right? So doc, real simple. And that's somewhat of a hybrid because, of course, you're probably going to have to DM the folks for them to read the doc anyway. So it's somewhat of a hybrid, but it means that you're disregarding the need for things like sales calls. You can have also things like a call funnel, have a call. Now, this is more specific to the online space, by the way. Someone jumps into your funnel, such as what's below. I'm going to leave a link to my call funnel. It's called the ultimatemarketingmastermind.com, where I reveal the exact steps I took to go from 0 to 51K months, and shows you a case study for that in around about 16 minutes time. And of course, if you want me to help you implement that in your business, or even chat about whether that's the right pathway for you, of course, there is an option to lock in a time with myself. Now, I don't believe in high pressure sales, by the way. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, I don't want to be sold to, just relax. It's a chat. I probably can't help you out anyway. Right. So you can have a call. That's another way that you can close leads. You can also have other things like virtual events. Run quite a few of those. They work really, really well. You can have, of course, things like webinars, and you can have 5-day challenges and all sorts of stuff like that, right? So the method of conversion, I would encourage you to stick with just one. You don't need all of these together, right? Don't need them all together. Choose one that aligns for you. My personal opinion, my personal favorite is via a call. And the reason for that is because if you're trying to close via the DMs, you're battling with things like time zones, right? So you might send a message to someone and then by the time they get back to you, it's ages. They can also ghost you, as in they just don't answer you. That's also another thing that can happen. Very hard to ignore someone when they're on Zoom chatting to you, right? It also means that you have to try and interpret what that other person is saying. Okay, so it's a little bit tricky sometimes with the DMs. A Google Doc, the same thing applies. Trying to create that sense of urgency to get folks in can be a little bit harder as well, unless you're having things like price bumps or limited intake, things like that as well. Calls, like I say, my favorite, just because it simplifies that process. In fact, all the huge big marketers out there, the majority of those, they are done off the back of a simple call funnel. Not in all cases, but a lot of them. And an audience, right? Moving on. So just pick one. I would encourage this one because it's a skill that you can take with you for life. It doesn't matter what platform you go on. If you understand the mechanics of taking a stranger to seeing some of your content, thinking, this person seems kind of normal, I think they might be able to help me, and then realizing they've got some authority because I've been able to help hundreds of people just like you before, it's going to be the simplest thing to do, right? So therefore, jump on the call, right? And then you can expand into other areas later on. Now, eventually what will happen through this is you start getting real fancy and start putting like an actual funnel in place. But I'm always a big believer in start with nothing, right? Do yourself a favor, start with nothing, understand the mechanics of taking an audience, crafting an offer, getting in front of that audience, and then in a way that is just real chilled out. We're not forcing the issue on anyone because they're already pre-sold by the time they jump on a call. You have that conversation with them and you try and help them out with some stuff, right? So I'm a big fan of that. That way, when you do that, eventually start doing DMs and things. It's real simple, right? Audience. Now you can build an audience everywhere. This is being sent to the YouTubes. Thank you, by the way, YouTube and all my subscribers. Love you all. But you can do it anywhere. You can go onto TikTok. You can go onto Facebook. You can go onto Snapchat. You can go onto Instagram. You can go onto an email list. You can have a hybrid of all these. My personal favorite is Facebook, quite simply because you have the ability to communicate on a one-to-many approach, as in many people can watch this content at once, but you also have the ability to have a bespoke one-on-one conversation with people as well. And that allows you to expand upon that at some point once you've got proof of concept, right? Once you know, okay, I've got an offer, I've got an audience, I've converted a few leads, bang, I'm on fire. By all means, go to another platform, but man, stay focused to start with, right? So pick that and just stick with one. You literally, if you can't find an audience member on, say, Facebook, for example, just to buy your stuff, there's a bigger issue at play because there are billions of people on Facebook. If you can't sell on Facebook with billions of people on it, another platform's not going to be the right answer. It really isn't, okay? So just stick with one. I'm not saying Facebook's the best place. YouTube might be the best place for you. Instagram might be the best place for you. Twitter, whatever it's called now. Are we allowed to call it Twitter? I don't know. Threads, whatever it is, like anything, doesn't matter. It's just pick one, become a master of it, build that audience, and then leverage that to grow later on, okay? You start building out an ecosystem. Now, your offer, like I say, you don't need a website, you don't need funnels, you don't need any of that stuff to start with. You just need something that is going to help the other person out. Now, doesn't matter if it's low ticket or high ticket. Basically, you just need a way to serve that other person. So again, it could be a coaching offer. It could be a 6-week coaching offer where between now and at the end of it, that person's going to get the full process for building and monetizing a Facebook group. You're going to show them how to make their first 10 grand online by the time they hit that 6-week period, right? I've had students come into my program, the Ultimate Marketing Mastermind, that have gone from 0 to 10K in 49 days, right? Had others that have crossed over 50 grand in just 4 months. Crazy stuff, right? Because of these principles, okay? Now, work out how to solve those problems for people as part of that offer, and then start to consider how you can alleviate that pain that they're currently feeling. What type of painkiller can you give them, metaphorically, of course, to alleviate that pain? And that is your offer. How can you spruce that up so you're offering more value, more support, more incentives, more things that are going to help that person out than any of your competitors? And once you can glue these together, then now you've got a business, you can grow it big, right? Pretty cool stuff. Anyway, this is it. So if you're feeling overwhelmed, what I'd encourage you to do is first and foremost, join my community to start with. I cover this stuff a lot. It's free. We have some pretty cool stuff. There's a lot of free training and guides and different things that you can pick up there as well. But secondly, consider how you can simplify your business. What layers can you rip off that you're currently doing that are like plate juggling? Kind of like juggling all these plates, going, okay, I'm on every platform and doing the thing, and my audience is like growing ever so slightly, but I've got no method to get them to see my offer. Okay, well, that's the missing piece, right? So then when you simplify things, now all of a sudden it becomes really easy. What I always tell people is start real simple. Learn how to build an audience, craft an offer, close sales, right, and convert them. Real simple. And then as a new layer, I learned this analogy from Aaron Fletcher, talks about having swim lanes. So your first swim lane might be that. I'm going to take someone who's a stranger, I'm going to help them out with some stuff, I'm going to make an offer to solve their issue on a paid basis, and I'm going to repeat that till I make a sale. And then you get that first sale, your high ticket sale, 1 to 10 grand or whatever you're charging, right? Nice and easy. And then, guess what? Okay, well, I'm going to add another swim lane there. You don't start with them all at once, you add another one. So you might add a funnel, and now that funnel automates certain processes. Then you might add your email list on top of that, and that automates certain processes. And then you might say, actually, I don't want to take any sales calls anymore. I'm just going to do everything in the DMs. Great. Well, now you've got a new layer. Actually, I don't want to do the DMs anymore. It's too laborious. I don't want to hire a team. Okay, well, I'm just going to run virtual events. Okay, well, I don't really want to run virtual events anymore because I can't control the metrics and my ad account got shut down. Okay, well, great. Try doing something else, right? You can add new layers. Okay, so start simple, add layers as you go along. So anyway, hope this helps, guys. If you are a coach, course creator, consultant, affiliate marketer, anyone that's doing anything online, go and adopt this. Like literally learn the stuff. It's really simple. Business is not complex. Offer audience conversion method, and then start to build your layers as you go through, and you will find that your growth rate and your growth trajectory will be big and strong as a result of you simplifying things and allowing you to focus on the core pillars that are going to move your business. Anyway, my name's Jamie. I really appreciate you tuning in. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, drop a comment, let me know your thoughts around this. And of course, feel free to check out ultimatemarketingmastermind.com if you are a course creator, coach, consultant, or high ticket affiliate marketer looking to simplify their acquisition process, spending 2 to 3 hours per day on their business in order to finally grow to $5,000 to $30,000 per month. My name's Jamie. Look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.